Good morning, everyone. How are you today? How are you this morning? Yeah, it's another beautiful sunny day in South Carolina. And for those of you that follow me, you guys know most of my financial ideas, my financial things I'd love to share with you guys come to me in the mornings. Before I get started, if you like my message or like my videos that I share, please don't forget to subscribe, share, hit that reminder button. Let everybody know that they can come here if they want to become rich, wealthy, and understand just the base of money. You have to start at a base. You have to start at a foundation. What I teach is the foundation of money. Okay. All right. Today's topic is, what is it? What did I write? The rules of money. All right. The rules of money. Now, today's is especially for the younger generation, the ones coming up out in this world financially, and they're kind of lost, and they you just look at the adults or people's things, houses, cars. These things are bombarded on you. Credit is everything. You can't do anything. This is for you guys. All right. And if you understand this, and what I want you to listen, how I want you to listen to me today, I only want you to listen to me mathematically. Okay. And the reason why I say the younger generation too is because you guys are closer to grade school, being out of grade school, than people like my age. I'm 49. I'll be 50 in December. You guys are closer to grade school, and you're probably thinking, why are you saying that? I'll tell you why. Because all you need to know is remember the math money games in grade school? They used to, the dimes, nickels, quarters, dollars, this equals that, and it's with math. That's all you need to know when it comes to your money. I always repeat this in all my videos. This mathematical formula will change the rest of your life, change the rest of your financial life, and you will be financially free for the rest of your life. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and then go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. That number is 9 times out of 10 going to be a large negative number. Hell, you might not even know it, right? It'll be a large negative number. If that number is negative, you have no money. You are broke. Okay? And then when you look at that number, you're going to say, how come I don't feel broke? Does that matter? Does it change that negative number? You got to look in the mirror. And if you don't believe that negative number, look in the mirror and say, how come I don't believe my own math? That's what you got to say to yourself. How come? And then that's when you come back to my channel. I will tell you why you don't believe your own math, okay? I will show you why. With math, there is no misunderstandings. I'm not trying to pull a trick on you, because you can enter these numbers in your own calculator app in your own phone, and I guarantee you they will always match. Promise you, okay? When it comes to money, there's rules. The number one rule, math is always law. When it comes to your money, math is law, period. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. Never forget that. Now, again, I'm going to run through this list that I created. I only want you to listen to me mathematically. If the math is correct, believe it. All right? Taxes are the backbone of the system. They're the whole backbone of the system. That's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. That's why you can owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to student loan debt and pay it over the rest of your life. But you can't do that with taxes. You ever wonder why? Because it's the backbone of the whole system. You can't owe that much money to the IRS, right? Does that make sense to you? Why not? Everybody knows you'll go to prison, but nobody asks why. Because you got to take the time to understand it. There's rules. It's no different than the sports team, right? Say like you're playing football. Everybody knows face masking is illegal. You can't walk on the field and say, I don't care what the refs say. I don't care what the rules are. I'm still going to face mask. How long will you be in a game if you keep doing that? You won't be. No different than taxes. These rules have been laid out well before you and I were even born. You can't just be born and come in and say, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. They'll kick you out the game. They're putting you in prison. Don't fear it. Take the time to understand it. Oh, instead of doing that, I can do this legally. Period. Okay? The IRS agents, look at the IRS agents as referees. You don't have to be scared of IRS agents. IRS agents have to follow the rules that another entity makes. IRS agents don't make the rules. They follow the rules too. They follow the rules also by a different entity that makes the rules. Do you understand? Okay, let's go on. In order for you to get to make $1 million, you must get to zero first. Now, if your finances are in the negative, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. You're in the negative. You must get to zero first. Grade school math. You must get to zero first before you get to $1 million. How you gonna get to $1 million if you're not even at zero? 85% of the US are under zero. Whether they know this or not is 100% irrelevant to math. Math is law. Who cares? You can't break the rules. Math doesn't care how you feel about it. It is what it is. If you want to be the rule, like for example, if you want to be rich, the obvious is out there in the open. All you have to do is do the exact opposite of the majority, and you will be financially free for the rest of your life. Young people, are you hearing what I'm saying? If you do the exact opposite of the majority, you will be financially free for the rest of your life. Here's a couple examples. Credit card debt is in the trillions. Don't use credit cards and you'll be financially free. Car loan debt is in the trillions. Never, ever finance a depreciating object with interest like a car, ever. You never finance a car, you'll be financially free. If you see this, nobody gets a finance car on sale. If you see the price, if you know, logically, you have to know because math says so. You see the sticker price of a car. If you finance it for 72 months, flip to the back of that 72 months paperwork. That's the price you got the car for. It's way different than the sticker price you see when you walk on a lot. Why are you going to pay for something? Pay more for something than what it's worth. You'll never get financially ahead like that, ever. Can you imagine a cell phone? If you think a car goes down in value, imagine a cell phone, and people do that every day. The date of this video, the iPhone 11 came out. I went on the Apple's website, looked at the top dog, iPhone 11 Pro Max, whatever, right? That thing's almost $1,500. You think people are paying cash for that phone? Mm-mm. That's why they list monthly prices on there, because nobody's doing that because they can't afford to do that. So they make monthly payments, thinking they're winning. Doesn't matter. Okay? Student loan debt is in the trillions. Pay off your student loan. If you don't pay off your student loan, you will die with it. You'll be paying with it. You'll be paying for that student loan with your Social Security checks, and then you will die with it. Do you understand? You don't ever want to do that. Why would you? That's slavery brought on by yourself. Don't blame some other entity. They're not doing anything to you. This is why, because it's obvious. All you got to do is apply 5th grade math to your finances and you will see. It's that simple. You ever hear the term money isn't real? You ever say, I remember growing up hearing that throughout my life sometimes. Hey, money's not real, but yeah, you can just pull it out of your pocket and you feel it in your hand, so you believe it's real, right? Money is not real for people in debt. Money is a tool. Money is nothing more than a tool. Money is only not real. Money is not real only for people that are in debt. I'll give you an example. Savings, back to the main formula. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for anything that you have in real life for anything. Okay? Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for retirement. Equals how much money you're contributing towards your retirement. If that's in a negative, you're not contributing anything towards retirement. Nothing. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for a car. If that's in a negative, you have no money for a car. That's why you're financing it. Don't fool yourself. Don't listen to people that say things like, hey, instead of dropping X amount of dollars on a car, I can invest it into the stock market and this and that and triple and double. That's not real. They're lying to you. Okay, that's not for real. Trust me, people with money would never set foot on a car lot unless they're buying it brand new. Let me say never. Some people with money like brand new cars, but they're going to be paying cash for those cars. And they're not going to be paying the sticker price because people with money don't have to pay sticker price. We don't have to pay full price. We don't. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for a vacation. If that's in the negative, you're mathematically borrowing that money to go on vacation. And if you're borrowing the money, you're really not going on vacation because you got to go back to work to pay for that vacation. You get it? Math is law. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have for shoes. If that number's in the negative, you have no money. Money's not real for you. Do you see? Do you get it? I'm looking at my notes so I can. Now, this is just what I'm telling you is basic math. Nothing complicated. There's nothing complicated about it. Now, if you want to see how many people don't understand this simple concept, you can do this yourself. Open up your calculator app, and I want you to put these numbers in there. You don't really have to even open up your calculator app. This is how simple it is. I want you to put in 80,000 minus 100,000. That equals negative 20,000. Excuse me. There is no if, ands, or buts. It doesn't matter how you feel about this answer. Doesn't make does this negative $20,000 make you feel? Are you mad about it that it equals negative 20,000? Does it make you happy? Does it make you sad? Does it make you want to celebrate? It is what it is. It's negative 20,000. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. Regardless of, there's only one answer: negative 20,000. Period. Okay. Now, this is all you got to do. I did this example in my last video. All you got to do is just post this on Facebook, any social media site. It doesn't matter. Knowing, before you post it, I want you to remember, knowing that there is only one answer. Okay. And this is what I want you to post. Hey, if a person inherited $80,000 and they had $100,000 in student loan debt, what should they do? Okay, just post that, just say that. All right. Look and see how many answers you get back. You will have a ton of 5 here, this there. There's only one. It's negative 20,000. You cannot invest negative 20,000 in anything. It doesn't exist. Look and see how many answers you get back. And then when you go out there and post this on a Facebook or whatever, you come back to my channel. Come back to my channel and say, how did he know that? I'm not special. I just did the math. It's negative 20,000. You cannot invest in anything. It doesn't exist. But yet people, it doesn't even matter what level, financial persons, accountants, You got to think to yourself, if a financial person comes back and tell you that, you better not use that financial person. You got to think to yourself, how come this financial person doesn't know the base? This is the base, is what I teach you. The basics. Fifth grade math. Do you understand? There is no if, ands, or buts about it. Don't tell them. Don't even argue with them. You ask yourself, how come they don't know the basics? Because they don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter a person's job title. It doesn't matter what kind of job they do. If they're accountants, lawyers, doctors, it doesn't matter. Don't be fooled by titles. This game has nothing to do with that. Now, investing, everybody knows investing in the stock market is not guaranteed. People say it all the time, like they would tell you things, hey, don't pay that off, invest in the stock market, and then it'll triple and quadruple and this, and you take the profits from that, and then you pay off debt, right? People always say that. Those are people that don't understand the rules. They're already breaking the rules. Math is law when it comes to money. Why do they feel like they can break the rules? Because they don't know. They don't know the rules. It's obvious. It's obvious that they don't understand the rules. Here's an example. What if I tell you that there is a guaranteed return on a different type of investment? Would you believe me? There is. The investment in yourself. Say, for example, you have a large student loan and the interest rate on that student loan is 7%. Okay? If you pay off your student loans, that's a guaranteed 7% that you will no longer be paying. That's money in your pocket. Right now, it's money out of your pocket. Pay your student loan off, and that's a guaranteed 7% that you'll never be paying again. That's money in your pocket. Do you understand? Those are the rules. You get it? If the earlier you in life that you understand this, you will be financially free for the rest of your life. Do you understand? It's simple math. It's not complicated. Once you understand these rules, you don't need to understand how the stock market works. You don't need to understand how any financial whatever works. This is why. Anybody that comes to you from now on, especially when you're financially free, it's obvious. They come to you and say, "Hey, man, I understand. I'll take your money and do this and that. All you have to do is this. Let me see your personal credit report." All three. If their finances are in the negative and they don't know it, you better not go with that person because they don't know the base rules. They don't understand it. You can even tell them and they still won't understand it. You better walk away. Not saying that they might not know what they're doing in the game, but if they don't know the basics, they're messing up. They could be quadruple that money, but they don't understand the basics. You get it? You take it. And even if you kind of like what they're doing, you must understand debt dictates people's moves. That they want to, for example, they want to keep up with the facade of showing people that they have money. But if they don't know the basics, they don't understand that they can quadruple their money by understanding the basics. So that's a facade showing that stuff. And if it's dictated by that, they have to keep up with the facade, even if they start losing money. Do you understand? That's real. All right. People interchange the words rich and wealthy all the time, thinking they mean the same things. They do not. Rich means having lots of money. Wealthy means owning the time in your life. Nobody owns it but you. Do you understand? Let me give you an example here. Do you ever hear when they say, the rich don't pay taxes? You got to stop. And the people, what I call the debt matrix, people that live in the debt matrix, they believe in credit, in debt, and you will always have debt, and you always need credit and credit cards to live and survive. They live here in this box, the debt matrix. Those rules and statements, these are statements I'm about to tell you, only apply in this box. I'm outside the box. I can see the whole thing. All right. These financial rules they're unwritten. They're not in the box. They don't even understand it. Money's spoken on different frequencies. People in the debt matrix speak on one frequency, and people outside the debt matrix speak on a different frequency. It's like, hey, here's an example. Hey, if you keep financing cars, you'll never get financially ahead. They'll look at you and say, what? What you mean? How am I supposed to get a car then if I don't have credit or credit cards? See what I'm saying? They don't understand what you mean. Hey, if you don't pay those student loans off, that's not free money. You'll die with them and you'll be a slave, right? They'll say, what? Oh, that's a forever loan. Whatever. It's so small, it doesn't mean anything. And plus, I can write it off on my taxes. Do you understand? They don't even get it. You have to walk away and just be quiet. You get it? Okay. When you hear the rich don't pay taxes, you got to stop and think, wait a minute. It doesn't matter what level of financial money you're at. That's tax evasion. You go to prison. They're doing something. They pay taxes, but just not the same way you do. And you don't even have to be rich to do it. That's a myth. Only people in the debt matrix say things like that. I'll give you an example for the average person, the average worker. Okay. You cannot see what I'm about to tell you if you are in debt. It's mathematically impossible for you to use this example that I'm about to tell you to take advantage of it. It's called phantom income. If you have a 401k at your job, as of this year, you can invest a maximum amount in 1 year, $19,000. If you're not in debt, you will have $19,000 to invest into the 401k. You take $19,000, you put in your retirement, it earns interest. In that same year, you could take $19,000 off of your annual income, which will drop you in your tax bracket. The majority of people that are in debt cannot afford to take advantage of this, so they stay high in their tax bracket and pay the higher of taxes. You don't. It drops you down. So it's like double dipping. You take $19,000 off your annual income, which drops you out of the higher tax bracket. The majority must stay up there. They have no choice because they're in debt. They don't even see it. Okay. That means more money in your savings account. When you pay less in taxes, that's money in your pocket. You pay less in taxes than the majority, that's money in your pocket. Do you understand? That's how it works. That's tax avoidance. Tax evasion, illegal. Tax avoidance is not. Now you hear the rich don't pay taxes, then why are multimillionaire stars going to prison? They're rich. Why are they going to prison? Does that make sense to you? No, because it doesn't matter the level of money that you make. They still have the same mentality. They're still in the debt matrix. Even though they're making millions, they're still in the debt matrix. It doesn't matter. They believe that they're rich. They can avoid the rules. They can't. Do you understand? That's why they go to prison. Because they don't understand the rules and they think they can break them. Back to the football analogy. Hey, if face masking is illegal and you decide to go ahead and do it, how long are you going to be in the game? You're not. You get kicked out the game. Kicked out the game means you go to prison. Now you're out the game. Then when you get out, the rules say, do you understand the rules now? You might not understand the rules, but you said you'll know not to break them. Do you understand? That's how it works. This, when you hear me and you hear how simple I'm making this sound, because it is that simple. What I'm telling you, what I'm sharing with you, you cannot see it if you're in debt. You must get to zero before you can get to 1 million. This is grade school math. Another example, like here are, think about accountants. They balance the books of businesses. And if you're an accountant, listen closely. You balance the books of businesses, but you don't balance the books of your own personal finances. How come you don't treat your personal finances like a business? Does that make mathematical sense? It doesn't. If you do the same as you do a business, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And guess what? You're going to be especially accountants, you're going to be very mad at yourself because you'll realize that you could have been a millionaire years ago. Years ago. I'm mad at myself. I've been making in the six digits for years. Years. I was a virtual engineer, a computer engineer for like the last 20 years. I've been in the six digits for years. It didn't matter. I was still in debt. I was too busy trying to show the world that I was in six digits. When you get outside the debt matrix, you'll realize six digits is nothing. That's pennies. And when you even think about that, what do you mean? That's a lot of money. Jeff Bezos is making billions. He's not an alien. He's not special. He's a person. He eats, uses the bathroom, walks around just like you and I. He knows something that you don't know, basic math. But he has a vision and passion as well. And once you get out of debt, your own vision and passion will come to light. That's why I make these videos. I make these videos back to back like it's nothing. Stay on here for an hour like it's nothing because I don't think about the time. I'm here to share with you guys how this all works. This is my passion. Once I got out of debt myself, I quit my job. I didn't realize I was putting myself there. Now, don't get me wrong. If I need more money, will I go back to work? Of course. That's the only way to earn money. That's the only way to get money. Here's another example to help you guys understand. It doesn't matter what you do, what your job title is, even if it's illegal. Now, if you're a person out there, and listen, I want you to understand why it doesn't mean anything. If you don't understand the rules, you live in a debt matrix. Say, like, for example, you are a drug dealer, okay? Making more money than you could ever possibly with a regular job. Are you making car payments? You paying a mortgage? Are you making credit card payments? Does that make any kind of sense? You're not paying taxes and you're making all this money. You're not even paying taxes. Now, what you don't realize, you're risking more than ever. You don't even realize what you're risking for this money. This is the mentality. This is the debt mentality. You don't even realize what you're risking. You're not fooling anybody by putting things in other people's names. It's all money. It's all added up money. It's easily traceable. And what you don't understand, once you have the debt mentality, people in debt have a pattern. No matter what you do, you guys have a pattern. And you don't know you have a pattern. Hey, I'm going to put this in this name and I'm going to make this company over here. It's all money. You're doing it all for money. The illusion of money. You're in debt, so money's not even real to you. No matter how much money you're making, it's an illusion if you're in a negative. So you have a pattern that you're doing. IRS agents they're not special. They're not they don't know something that you don't know. I guarantee you, there are IRS agents that are in debt. They just know how the rules work of the tax system. That's about it. But can you imagine if every IRS agent wasn't in debt? Oh, you guys wouldn't have a chance. If I became an IRS agent, people think that they're fooling people with shell companies and putting things in other people's names and doing all this nonsense. And I don't even know nothing about that. I don't need to know nothing about that. But if I became one, I would understand the rules of the game. But on top of that, my basic knowledge, nobody would have a chance. Because again, people in debt have a pattern. They don't even know they have a pattern. You know what I would do? I would find somebody breaking the rules and let them dig themselves in a hole so deep. And when I come knocking on the door, they couldn't do anything about it because they don't even know how they got there, and they definitely sure wouldn't know how to get out. Period. Do you understand? Math is law when it comes to money. So if you're a drug dealer, like I said before, you're still in the debt matrix if you're making payments, but you're about to change the rest of your life. You get caught, your whole life is changing. That's a different story, though. But that's just an example. So if you're a doctor, lawyer, drug dealer, successful business owner, and da da da, savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life, personally. If it's in a negative, money doesn't exist for you. Do you understand? All right. You guys have a wonderful day. I sure will. All right. Have a good one.